Schmidt's in. 1-0 Lincoln. Woodyard's brought down. Simmons there to go to the post. Ginley's there to tidy it up. 2-0. Into Dunn. It's 2-1. Bit of a sneaky win, but we'll take it. 2-1 Lincoln City. Trying to play on Reed there. Matt Reed's had a shot anyway. 1-0 Lincoln City. Another pretty boring game, but we've won 2 in a row. Yeah, we've seen that before. 1-0. Brown, big long ball, right over the top. 2 defenders. I don't think Cassidy even hit that. I think that was Travis. But that's a bit shit. We just beat them after all. Right. Back to Harrison. 1-0 already. Schmidt. Oh, he's in. Oh, we needed that. 1-1 draw in a game we should have won. Marriott missed far too many opportunities. Hello and welcome back to the Impvasion. We're up to episode 6 now. So form's been up and down. I think we all are well aware of that. Still sat in 5th. Sutton still top. And they're about 9 points clear of us now. They even got 7 points on Aldershot there. Disappeared out of the top 3 for the stats in the league there, unfortunately. But speaking of stats, let's have a quick look at our team losing trust of management. Habigam, get over yourself. So the last 5 games, we've just come off the 2-week international break, played a couple of friendlies, try and put some money back in the bank. First up was Blackburn. I think it destroyed us about 5-2. Then I just organised a little friendly cup. So if we go back, we'll go back there. So the last 5 games, Nathan Arnold, 7-3-4. Marriott's got back to scoring, thankfully. Obviously it was just the friendly games, but we'll take it. Josh Ginley is just coming back from an injury, but he did win Young Player of the Month just before that injury. And speaking of awards, we also took Manager of the Month for December, I believe it was. So mistake-wise, Habigam by a country mile. He started to pick his form up, but the funny thing is, it's the under-23s that he's playing well for. You bring him back in to play for the first team, and it's not looking good at all. Raggett's been up and down. Interception-wise, these two are just monsters. 600, 484, then 250. It's just ridiculous. Key tackles, clearly, well, Habigam, it's clearly not enough because what he is doing isn't making up for what he's not doing. So key passes, Matt Reed still the assist man. Alex Woodyard gets plenty done in the midfield. I still think about switching him back to a box-to-box. They seem to do a lot more and get some higher ratings there. Headers, Waterfall, Raggett, Reed. It's the ones you expect. Top goal scorer is now Matt Reed. Like I say, Marriott's starting to get back to where he was. I'm hoping it carries on today. Assists, still Ginley. Woodyard's floating around as well. So just touch back on Habigam for a second. This left back position is the one spot that's still really up for grabs. Mosley hasn't done a lot with the chances he's been given. I wouldn't say he's been better. He's probably about the same. So I am still looking for a left back. I've got the scouts looking for a first team left back. I narrowed down the players that the team knows into left backs with just a few little bits and pieces that I prefer from that position. So that's work rate, teamwork, and determination. Obviously determination is just not always a guarantee, but I've narrowed it down to 10 in each, and it's only left me a little short list, so I'm going to have to take another look at that. Other team news, coaching badges. I have now got the National A studying for the Continental C. Nicky Cowley has his badge. Let me just actually open up the staff screen. Where are we? Nicky Cowley's got, yeah, so he's now studying for his Continental A. Most of this is starting to jump up quite nicely, which is really good to see. Actually, speaking of managers, I know we've touched on Danny Cowley before. Got a job at Leeds United. As a Lincoln fan in real life, it's a little bit concerning because that's the level he's obviously seen at being capable of managing at, which is the Championship. So today's game against Dover, home form hasn't been best. No, it hasn't. It's actually been better away. Yeah, I need to be clinical in front of goal, not the best weather. We'll just say that, because who cares? Yeah, so we've got Stanek has come in as the first choice. like I said, maybe last episode, one before, he was going to get an extended run based on the performances that he'd been putting in, and he hasn't disappointed. Habigham, Raggett, Waterfall, Long, pretty usual there. Bradley Wood's injured. I've got a little bit of a case of the flu running through the team. There's a few players coming in and out, suffering from that. And that's probably my mistake because I didn't send one of them home. I pushed the wrong button. With Ginley out, Arnold's taken up the spot on the right, so McAvoy has had an extended start on the left. Still hasn't done a whole lot yet, so I'm really not sure what's going on there. It seems to be the left-hand side that we're really struggling with. And then Woodyard and Power, because Billy Knott's been underperforming, he's been suspended, he's been injured, all that sort of stuff. And then Marriott and Reed will lead the line for us. Dover have gone for a 5-4-1, not like the usual wingbacks they play. I'm not going to tightly mark Ricky Miller because we don't have the pace to keep up with him. I'm not actually going to close him down either. Pick up where they left off. Yep, they've won a couple of friendlies lately. I'd like to challenge them. Now, we'll tell them to avenge what happened. Just do the typical passionate. I'm also leaving it on this screen now because it's led to the highlights loading faster. For some reason, my computer doesn't like to process that little transition all too quickly. But I think it should be suitable enough for what we need to do. So tactically, I've still left it on very, very basic, the two instructions because I still don't trust them. First highlight, Habigham, Marriott, to Power in the middle. Power goes to Waterfall. Waterfall out to Long. Off to Nathan Arnold. I'm just going to play backwards here, I think. As long as he doesn't lose it. Oh, Long's overlapped him. It's a nice play. Can he put a good ball in? No, he's played back to Power. Power to Woodyard. Woodyard first time to Reed. Tackled by Egan. And that's the end of our first possession. Dover coming forward. Power's cut it out nicely. Arnold's gone back long again to Reed, who's tried to flick it onto Marriott, but hasn't quite made it. But Woodyard has collected. It's a little bit static here. You could say that it's build-up play, but it's a little bit static for my liking. Matt Reed's hit the crossbar. I think Marriott might be offside there. That's unfortunate because we did need Marriott to start scoring again. I think in the last league game we played, he blew about four clear-cut chances of the ball, just crept over the top every time. It should have been. I think we actually ended up losing that game. I can't quite remember, or was it a draw? It was a Barrow game either way. Oh no, it was a draw. We watched Schmidt on, and he finally was the one to break the deadlock for us. Yeah, but we've already told them revenge is on the cards. I don't think I'm particularly happy with the performance. If we just look at this quickly, yeah, nothing on target, and they're all long shots. So I think we'll tell them to just buck their ideas up. I'm not happy with the performance. Yep, we'll fire them up. Can I get anything out of this briefly? We can go through the middle, I suppose. I'm tempted to go back to direct passing because it seemed to do the trick in that last game against Barrow. It created plenty of opportunities, we just couldn't put them away, unfortunately. So being at home, I know we generally would play control. I just don't trust them at the moment. And this is a game we do need to win because we're starting to slip out of the playoff places, but we do have Braintree next to a much lower down the table, so that could result in something positive for us. There's really not much happening. Demand more. If not, I'm going to make some substitutions in a second. About now. Schmidt up top. Muldoon on the left for Kenneth McAvoy, who's done bugger all. Woodyard's probably going to be the next one to go, just due to that fitness is dropping, but he is probably having one of the best performances today. Six shots off target. They're all long shots. I don't know what's going on here. Highcastle for Woodyard. I know he's 10 minutes ago. Can he? No, I'm not going to risk it. Ball winning midfielder. I know, I should know this. We're going to switch those two around. That's probably a terrible idea with the power already being on a yellow card. I'm going to step this up to control for the last 10 minutes. Could be a terrible idea. Being at home. No, I don't think we're going to get anything from this at all. It's going to be a 0-0 ball draw with not many headlights at all. Highlights at all. Not headlights, highlights. Speak. No. 10 seconds to go. This is going to be it. It's a pretty disappointing performance as far as I'm concerned. 7 long shots is it's not good enough. I know they lined up defensively with a 5 at the back. Maybe I should have looked to do more tactically. They didn't play well at all. I'm not happy with the performance because you couldn't even get a shot on target. It does leave us in 5th, tied with Forest Green Rovers. If we beat Braintree, like I say, who are 17th, we can jump to 3rd, obviously with the results, given other results going our way. Rest the number of key players. I don't think I really did. Yeah, I'm frustrated. Hey, blah blah blah. I'm not interested in that sort of thing. I probably should be. He is fantastic. He's got that 30k release clause, but I'm just not sure. We'll have a quick chat with Marriott. I'll push the wrong button there. Basically for his recent form, because he's not banging them in, he's missed a lot of opportunities. I'll tell him I've got faith he's going to sort it out. I can't guarantee that. Okay, so like I say, the next match is against Braintree, and we'll come back for that one in just a moment. I've just realised I was in a rush to get into the Dover game. We've made a couple of transfers. It is January. It's, well, the end of January. I haven't done very much. The 2 youth prospects I talked about. So Andreas Stavrakakis. It's not quite as good as I hoped he was going to be. He's not bad for 17. Oh, wanted. I didn't even notice that. Worcester City want to loan him. Yeah, maybe I will. We'll send him out on loan. See if we can get him some first team football. So first team. Worcester might give him something, so let's just check back in. So the technique, the passing, determination, flair, vision, they're all pretty good, pretty solid. He's only a 4-star potential, which is a bit unfortunate, but like we only paid £1,000, so I'm not massively worried. First touch isn't too bad. Long shots, heading, finishing. I think I was training. Yeah, I've got him training as a deep line playmaker, but having a second look, I almost feel like he'd be able to fit a box-to-box sort of role. Positioning's weak, and it's something I should look at getting to train on, as is his marking. So maybe box-to-box isn't a good idea at all. So I think I'll stick with the playmaking role for now. Declan Frame, it's the guy we talked about that everybody wanted. The Celtics, the Blackburns, etc., etc. I ended up paying, I think it was about 20k for him, just because with that many teams after him, and then the more the scouts got to know him, the higher the current ability went. Obviously, that 5-star potential is going to be pretty good. He's got a good personality. He's fairly ambitious. Like I said, he uses both feet, so that's also really, really beneficial. Some of the mentals aren't great. These 3 here, or these 4 in particular, something I'm a little bit concerned about with the centre back. The marking and the tackling are pretty fantastic for a 17-year-old. I'm wanting to put him basically straight into the first team. I'm not sure whether that's going to be. It's probably more likely going to be Waterfall's role. But if anything, he'll be rotated with Waterfall, or Raggett should Raggett not perform, because Raggett obviously has the higher potential. So those are the only 2 for now. I also sent Philip Lesniak back to Spurs because we just weren't using him. And if I can find a left back, hopefully to bring in on loan, that's ideal. Habigham has finally announced that he's happier. So like we said before the first game, his form is starting to pick up, but it is mostly due to the reserve games that he's playing. So like I say, Frame, got him on the bench for now because he's not quite in sync with the team yet, in terms of chemistry, cohesion, etc. But he is obviously waiting, ready to jump in for Waterfall. Like I say, Waterfall is probably about the peak of his ability. How old is he now? 26. So he's obviously at his peak given the stars. He's not particularly old, so he's only 26. But Frame is ready to step in and take over whenever. I need Raggett to pick it back up because Raggett does have a little bit more. Yeah, he's got a full star of potential, basically. McAvoy is somebody else we really need to start stepping up because he's not filling that £1,000 a week, that £1,100 a week that he's getting paid. I know consistency isn't one of his strong points, but we need it to pick up or I'm going to drop him, and somebody like Muldoon will start. So we are favourites. Like I say, that we've been good away. They're saying that we're good away too. Braintree are struggling at home, much like we are. And as I said just before, if we win today, we could jump as high as third, and that's something we really need to press on with. Jack Midson, I don't know why they keep. No, he's only no. We should be able to hold on to Midson. Tell them they're the favourites. We are away from home, so we're gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna be the best team talk there. Give them the old passionate like always. Right, skip that and get into it. We've had a few contract renewals take place, obviously given the fact that we're approaching the last 6 months of the season. The two I can think of note at the moment are Jindrik Stanek, the backup turned first choice goalkeeper, and Alex Woodyard there, who was just on the ball. They both signed on for I think 2 years. I know Stanek's definitely 2 years. I can't remember Woodyard's contract. And not on particularly much more money than they were on. Woodyard has got a couple of release clauses which I'm not particularly happy about. I didn't really have too much room to negotiate with him at this point in time. So first highlight, 22 minutes in. We haven't done anything yet, so I'd like to see something out of this one. Working down that right hand side. Power's coming to Woodyard in the centre there. He's gone back to Power. Out to Arnold. He's got some space if he wants to move into it. He hasn't. He's come back to Woodyard. Woodyard's probably going to have a go from there, I think. And the keeper's held that reasonably comfortably. But the first shot is on target. We have got the majority of possession after half an hour. They're beating us in the air though, and that's something that I'm really not used to seeing. I'm not too sure how to address it unless we keep the ball perhaps more on the ground. I'm still debating setting the team up for direct passing sort of full time, because Marriott has shown a few times that he can break through the defensive line. He just hasn't been converting those opportunities of late. Just give him the generic team talk. Check the pro zone. So yeah, the right hand side we seem to favour a lot, but I'm not really big on exploiting flanks. Maybe we'll try it today. I need to work the ball back. I need to focus back on working the ball into the box. I keep forgetting to add that back onto the instructions because this so far hasn't been as bad, but you saw in the last game that all we took were long shots, and it really is not ideal. So there goes the halftime highlight, although it seems to still be running. I hope this is just an extended one. Shares Isaac. It's fallen to Midson. First defender's missed it entirely, and that ball should have been used much better. Shares Isaac with a second cross. This time it's gone, and that should be the end of the highlight now. There we go. Gibbs with a throw to Isaac. Isaac into Sanderson. Back to Denton. Back out to Isaac. Gone long, but Raggett's cut it out. It's fallen to Woodyard, who's just headed into Denton. So Braintree, they've had more shots. They've had the better chance, but they are shooting from distance. Pafare with the cross. Midson's hit the bar, and it's cleared away, thankfully. Marriott's having a bit of a shocker again. I'm not sure what his problem is. Did give him a private chat, told him to, we had faith that he'd start finding the back of the net again, but it doesn't look like he's doing it lately. I'm starting to wonder if we should look at a new striker. Habigam. No one's there for that one. Marriott's brought that down. Arnold's penalty. Clear push. I saw that. I did see that for a change. Wasn't just a bit of a scrap with a penalty coming up. So this will give us the lead. I believe Matt Reid is going to take it. Should give us the lead, sorry, touch wood. Give him a second to settle himself. He's done pretty well from the penalty spot this year, and he's done it again. I thought I jinxed him for a second. So that's 1-0 after almost an hour. So I'll give them a few more minutes just to see how they react to this one. I'll tell them to concentrate quickly as well. Obviously, you're always looking to concede. I think Merritt's about to run out of time. He is. I'm going to bring Kevin Schmidt in. Otherwise, I'm reasonably happy with what I'm seeing so far. Woodyard on the yellow card there isn't ideal, but I don't really believe in Billy Knott at the moment. I've thought about adjusting tactics, but at this point in time, there's only really about, I think it's 14, 15 games remaining after this one. I don't think there's time to massively overhaul a tactic. I'll probably look at some more team talks and team meetings just to try and bring morale back up. Woodyard with a free kick there, short to power for Raggett. Raggett's going long for Reed. So beaten by Ashton. I really don't want to concede here. Really don't. Woodyard, no, he's failed to hold on to it there. We've done well there on the left. That's Habergam and McAvoy. Just need to hold on to the ball here. Braintree have gone over the top. Habergam needs to stay with him. The cross is in. Midson is saved, I think, and Long's cleared that. I don't know if that was off the bar again or whether Starnet got a hand to it. But I think we got very, very lucky. Alright, 5 minutes left. I should have made a sub earlier. I'm not really paying attention properly. I'm going to switch those two round. We'll give Muldoon a few minutes there as well. Habergam's on a 6.8 today, so that's promising. Maybe he's starting to find some form. Isaac, there we go. I think that's it. 1-0. I think we got very lucky given the match stats. Braintree definitely piled on the pressure there. But Matt Reed with a penalty. We've moved to 4th. Forest Green obviously won as well, so we're there with them, but behind on goal difference. We'll give this a second. We'll have a look at the inbox. Marriott. Oh, there's an automatic. One appearance away, so that's a simple. Oh, here we go. It's one of the left backs up and looking at. Just waiting for this. Just waiting for a little bit more information. Obviously, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I'd like him on loan because I don't really want to throw. Yeah, see, nobody's wanting to let their left backs go on loan. We've got the money to bring him in. It says he's only a half star better than a Habergam, but I'm struggling to see that looking at the stats here. Okay, so it's going to be 3 episodes, I think. So we'll do the normal skip 4, play 2. So we'll come back for York City and Aldershot Town. Aldershot, another team reasonably high in the table. No, I lie. Aldershot and Chester, obviously because they're both around the playoff places. Aldershot 2nd, Chester 7th. And when we come back, we can see how we look in the table. 4th, if we just open that one back up again. Yeah, so sitting in 4th, 2 points clear at Eastleigh, 3 on Dover. Well, there's still time to chase Sutton for first place, obviously, because I don't, like I've said before, I don't really want to be in the playoffs. Just gets a little bit messy. So anyway, if you've enjoyed the episode, please check back in for episode 7, and have yourself a great day. Thanks. Bye.